All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this Coldcast presentation. I'm your casting host, Beef. With me is Sender, and we're bringing you Dreamhack Summer 2013. We're in the losers bracket, round of 2, down to just 4 teams, and we might be down to 3 after this game. stayGreen EU leading this series 1-0, and the Vietnamese Dream Team just 1 game away from elimination. Sender, you think that this Swedish team has what it takes to take out what many would consider one of the top teams coming into this event?
Yeah, they definitely have the potential, but I feel like they need to get us a little bit of a drafting edge. Maybe not just at least not get outpicked, and they just need to play their game. If they can play their game, they should be fine. Look for the kills and dominate early game, and they should be able to get that to the late game and secure the victory.
Yeah, we'll have to look at this drafting stage and see, are they going to be able to do it? You said play their game. It's going to start right here at the draft. Already, Monkey King and Empath, the respect bands coming out of stayGreen, and 2 bread and butter heroes for vdT down immediately. On the other side of the things, Keep the Forest and Ophelia going to be banned out. What can you glean from these blind bans and locks?
Well, they did blind ban the Ophelia. They felt like Ophelia won them the game, maybe, but I feel like Ophelia was effective, but I really don't feel like that was the issue. I feel like the issue is more on their own play and had nothing to do with the Ophelia. But they disagree, but at the locking phase, they do lock the Sandwraith, which is kind of a ban. But maybe Mindlets would be willing to pick Sandwraith, say, over the Rally or Lodestone. However, if he does that, it would give the hands of vdT to maybe take him. They'd probably first pick Tempest and then leave Sandwraith, and then they might not have a carry. But let's get into that later. It's gonna be some mind games. It's gonna depend on the next 3 picks.
And right here at the bans, I already see Engineer, Master of Arms, and Moon Queen available. Already right there, we do see Engineer first picked. The Master of Arms is picked as well, and then Moon Queen going to be shadow picked. vdT, if they do pick up a Moon Queen on period, okay, that would be kind of odd. I haven't seen too much of that. But a Wretched Hag, another hero that we haven't seen them run too much of.
Yeah, they haven't really seen much Hag. Who's gonna probably? I think Zibby's gonna be on this Hag. Now I like these next 2 picks. A lot of versatility. Could be Torture supports. They could run double dual lanes, or they could run it in the carry role. And the Flux Engineer is a very strong combination. They've been using it to a lot of success.
Oh, absolutely something that sGeu is very, very comfortable with. And vdT likely going to go with their carry here. It will be Swiftblade. We've seen success with this hero in combination with both an Engineer and an Empath before. They're not going to be able to go with that. Instead, a Master of Arms. I don't know. This Swiftblade pick, he's going to have to get some really... This is a very fast picking phase.
So sG have a decision to make. Okay, so they go with a Lodestone. Sandwraith is a cool hero and all, but this game it could work, but they're just deciding to stick to the lineup, and they have a really scary lineup right now. They have a lot of AoE, they have a lot of burst, and they even have some late game carry potential with this Torture. And they're going to be hard-pressed to lose a team fight as long as they don't come out too far behind in the early game stages.
Yeah, and frankly, I feel that vdT's laning phase is going to be rather rough. Once again, sGeu going to be playing this Wretched Hag, probably going to do his thing solo mid. They're going to run a...
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, this is kind of odd. I mean, how are you feeling about the vdT lanes?
I'm not sure what they're gonna do with this. To be I really don't know. There's a few things okay, so this is gonna help a little bit. sGeu does get no, never mind. That's all his own regen.
Yeah, not stacked any as well.
So I'm trying to brainstorm a little bit right now.
Yeah, of course. I am thinking right now that they're actually going to run Swiftblade solo short. They're going to have the Master of Arms babysit him against the Lodestone. And then they're actually going to run Rally 1v2 mid, and then sGeu in the long lane. I think that's a possibility. They could be running the Rally long lane as well, and then Wretched Hag mid. I don't know.
The thing is, they can't really put a dual lane mid, because Engineer Flux is pretty much just going to dump on anything they send unless this Parasite can make massive plays. And the thing is, Legion side has 2 Great Harassers and 2 range hero, so they should have the better lane control. So it's going to be kind of hard to gank as a Parasite. So maybe they will just put the solo one mid like it is generally kind of their playstyle. But usually they do that with Zergo and Rally. And Hag is kind of, it is one of Zibby's more favorite heroes. So I'm really surprised that Zibby's not playing it.
Yeah, definitely agree with you here. Zergo, we know that he has an incredible rally, and Zibby loves Wretched Hag, so odd to see those two swapping up. I mean, maybe they're playing on each other's computers. They're right next to each other, of course. But no, I anticipate that this is just a little bit of a swamp up, and I don't know what to glean from that. But right now, they are going to be rotating into the mid and bottom lanes. Looks like Rally will go bottom, while Zergo is going to hang on and do the 1v2 thing mid. So different kind of hero, still the same plan.
And let's see. Look at this warding. Fitsky did place one rune ward. He doesn't want to get ganked. And then he did block one spawn. He doesn't choose to chop down the trees because it is kind of a big tell of where you placed it. So he doesn't really care if it doesn't give vision. He just doesn't want Tempest to counter ward. And say if he tries to counter ward and misses this, which is a high possibility, yeah, that's a lot of wasted time and gold that he will not be getting.
Oh, absolutely. Taking a look at this middle lane, you had called it with the Engineer Flux. Enchi going to try to go one-on-one with the Hag here in Harass. And Wretched Hag already getting herself into a position where she's going to take some damage, but of course has that Flash of Darkness. And that's one strategy, of course, to get some experience is to go down that river, force them to come to you, and then blink back up. And going to get experience that way.
Let's see. Right now, the lane position's in really nice for SG. You have... Oh, okay, he's going to be fine. But Zergo's doing a good thing. He's fighting for EXP. He can't give up. If you give up, you're just saying, well, I might as well just be level 1 for the whole game.
And he is actually forced to use a health potion already consuming 2 out of his 3 Blightstones. Fitsky has done a fantastic job of applying pressure. And even though he's fighting for it, I just don't think that Wretched Hag is going to be able to make anything happen
look
here.
at this top lane. Look at the pull. That's such a huge mistake by support. This lane is going to push so deep. The first imp might not even die here.
Yeah, it's going to go into deny range. It's going to hard auto attack it back, but it's barely going to die. He will not even get the kill onto the Minotaur. Like he said, a pretty massive mistake. V and Sensation autoing onto the Lodestone as well. Yeah, this is going to give Lodestone huge levels. Well,
and I would have liked...
Hold on, there's a big creep wave here from the Legion side as well. This might actually equalize. I have no clue.
I'm really confused, actually. What just happened, Beef? I actually need to look at the replay.
Yeah, that's a replay moment here.
This shouldn't be happening right now.
I guess I have no clue where that creep wave came from, man. So this now actually does work out. So support was able to get experience from that pull. He was able to get at least one last hit. And Swiftblade's not going to lose his lane position either. He's actually going to have perfect lane position.
I'm not really sure whose fault or whose praise that is because I didn't see what happened. But yeah, whatever. It works well for vdT. Exactly where they want the lane to be.
I don't know, man. Support. Sometimes things just magically happen with that guy. Like sometimes he'll just look absolutely brilliant. Other times we're wondering what he's doing on a level 2 Master of Arms, roaming 3/4 of the way across the map. In this case, whatever he did worked out for him, and he's going to continue to actually move around the map, joining Wretched Hag in the middle lane, level 3 Master of Arms, plus the Wretched Hag will be able to get some experience for Zergo, even though it will be nerfed and split in half.
The thing is, support is really liable to die in this mid lane. If they do have some pretty good reach with the Flux. Okay, he's leaving. There's no way he can lane here.
Yeah, instead will make his way back up top again. Bottom lane, Rally using the Compel to apply some auto attacks onto Haxorn, but Hax with the 5 Blightstones left, he's going to be just fine. Rally still wanting to charge out, and I like that he's playing aggressive here, able to snag a couple of CS, and is he flying out a bottle right now? He is. Bottle and additional regen. Going to use the Compel. Needs to make sure that he doesn't get hit by a chain reaction stun, which could actually kill him. The auto attacks. He's going to turn it around, chugging on that bottle. Has a Compel available in 5 seconds, but does choose to back up. No
Right now
boots.
the lanes are pretty. I mean, right now you have a what? You have one 1v1 lane and then two 2v1 lanes. So people are just trying not to die in their laning phases. Just get through it. And the game's pretty passive right now. People are just farming. The junglers really don't have anywhere to gank. And I mean, maybe Tempest would rotate bottom, but Zibby does have a pretty good ward in the jungle. It will be hard to get ganked by this Tempest.
Yeah, so right now things looking all right for both teams. A Keg is going to connect on the Wretched Hag mid. Gonna have to chomp on some Blightstones here. And Lodestone trying to find stuff.
Right now we have Pewee dragging the creep wave around. I feel like Zai should go stun him when he's doing this.
He will take a lot of damage from those creeps. And so
right,
is this the same situation here with the double
Yeah,
creep
this is
wave?
what happened last time, I guess.
I guess Pewee just had a push coming onto his tower and just dragged it around forever. Will see us off the tower pretty effectively. And Pewee at 335 gold per minute, making sure to hit almost all of his CS in the lane. Currently sitting on 34 and 16, only 5 minutes in. And that's very close to perfect CS.
Yeah, 350 is about where you want to be in a free farming lane without any kills or tower kills, so pretty good job, even though he's been kiting a lot of creeps, hitting most of them. Whereas Haxton is only at 240 GPM versus this Rally in the long lane. Rally didn't even get pooled regen, and it's pretty even, slightly favoring the Torture.
Yeah, and we'll get a chain reaction stun. Rally gonna have to use the Compel. Agonizing Bonds is available and will be used. Sips on another bottle charge, but Rally gonna activate the DD and hit the side chop. Middle lane though, Master of Arms gonna likely go down. No Engineer's the first one to drop. There's the Minotaur stun being used, trying to go onto Flux. They will fall back. Master of Arms gets out of there. So Zergo gets credit for a Bloodlust kill, and the 3v2 situation favors VDT as they pick up the first blood.
And who got the kill? It was Zergos. That's going to help him get his boots. He's really been struggling at this mid lane. Fitsky and Limp have been doing a great job of controlling the lane. You know, mid is the hardest lane to control properly. A lot of times the archers will miss on the auto attack on the other archer at the uphill. So it's pretty good. They're just having great lane control, keeping this hag around the level 2 range.
Yeah, she does get boots though. Well, has money for boots, sitting on 800 gold right now. You think she is going to pick up those boots first just to gain some additional mobility?
She might have gone. I saw. Okay, so you went boots and amulet. Yeah, okay.
So going to get some stats as well as finishing up that Amulet of the Exile, which she already had the 2 stat pieces for. And Pewee is farming very, very well right now. Steam Boots, and I think he goes Energizer with this build. Steam Boots Energizer just to get lots of mobility and more importantly, lots of stats will become quite tanky. And this is exactly what you need against Lodestone. When he has those Steam Boots set to strength, he'll be above 1,000 HP, and that's what you want. Actually, Lodestone gonna get gone on here. Swiftblade is gonna try to go forward. The head smash is gonna be used. They trade kills as Master of Arms will fall. So a bit of a misplay from support, getting hung up on those creeps.
You know, Pewee does get some additional gold, but Zai doesn't really care, 1 for 1. As long as they don't lose the tower, it's a pretty even trade.
But will they lose the tower? No. Gonna have to deny the Hell Cannon back here. Bottom lane though, speaking of towers, Torture and Minot playing the Tempest. Gonna be putting pressure. No impalement though. And top river engineer likely going to go down again. The smackdown put up, and Zergo brings home his 2nd kill. So Fitsky getting caught out of position once again, gives up another kill. Bottom lane deny attempts maybe going to be on the way. Shard shot is going to be used.
Maybe
There's the
even
TPs. There's the denies, and Compel is available, but they're not going to pursue. So good deny. Meanwhile, Swiftblade is spinning again in the top lane. If he forces Lodestone back, he can actually get a kill with the Swift Slashes, and will.
He does have mana on Intreds.
Why isn't he using it? He's
gonna fall.
That was a gigantic misplay. Like, I don't even know what he was doing.
It took him a really long time to swap to Intreds. He probably would have got the kill if he swapped a little bit faster, but then by the time he swapped, Lodestone was outside the cast range.
Yeah, that was a very, very big mistake here from Pewee, and giving up a kill like that did give Zai 2 levels. It's going to put Pewee in the penalty box here for 20 seconds, and he's going to lose out on a lot of farm. those are not the kind of plays that you can make when you're trying to make it into the top 3 of Dreamhack.
If he got that kill, that possibly would have been the tower too, because no one on the sGeu side has a teleporter. So that's a tower kill gone. That's trading yourself for the off lane hero. But he makes a mistake. The game does go on. They're in a fine position. They're only 1,000 gold behind. It's not too big. It's pretty much nothing. It's a difference of 200 gold per hero.
Yeah. So right now, both teams just going to sit back and play a little bit passive. Rally does drop another defensive ward here in the bottom lane. And Torture Engineer hanging out here. Torture looking to get a lane ward himself, but he's going to get compelled into a seismic slam. The autos finish him off. Nice dodge on the keg. Haxrin's there, but here comes Parasite. Deafening Roar going to go out for the slow. Parasite shows up in the Wild Hunter. Leech face hug comes in. Double damage Rally with Compel in 1 second, but a nice rocket drill coming in. There's the Shadow Storm as well. Compel away. Hag going to be able to help try to get this kill into Lodestone, and down goes Torture with support getting the kill on the side. Sonar Scream for a serial killer streak here on sGeu, and those were 2 massive kills for vdT.
Some really nice aggression coming out from vdT. However, I do have to criticize Limp, who does not have a teleport, same as Minuts, and do you have to have this polarity? Oh, it's mass ports in the middle lane.
Yeah, the tower is going to go down. How many are they going to be able to clean up, though? There's the Forked Lightning catching Tempest. Tempest turns around with a Glacial Blast now, and if he gets an Elemental Void on the high ground, not going to happen. There's the pull-in. In the background, Swiftblade going ham with this Blade Frenzy is going to kill Tempest immediately. Engineer likely going to go down as well. Gets the energy field down. Swift Slash is going to be doing a little bit of damage. Gets purged out, though. There's the Rocket Drill going to be used. Head Smash. They're trying to clean up Swiftblade. Wretched Hag is running away. Flux is coming back in, but the Energizer gets Swiftblade out of there. In the end, the tower goes down, and it is a 2-for-2 trade. So pretty even, maybe slightly favoring sGeu.
Well, when we were talking a few minutes ago about the gold lead being 1,000, well, now it's nothing, and now it's an experience lead. So a few skirmishes here and there, but the game is still pretty even. And sGeu should be okay with that. They should be thinking, as long as we can get to the mid-game team fights without being out too far behind, we're in a really good position to win them. And vdT need to find some more kills. They need to have this gold advantage before this team, the big 5-on-5 fights start happening.
And Swiftblade picks up a Beast Heart now, so going to be going toward an Elder Parasite or a Helm of the Black Legion. I've seen both of these on Swiftblade being played by Pee-wee before. I think it's going to be the Elder Parasite, actually. As he will want... Oh, bottom lane, though. Fitzky is going to get caught out. Seismic Slam finishes him. sGeu gets the kill with the Sonar Scream. After a rough start, sGeu at 4-0-1. He is recovering up to 210 gold per minute off of these kills. And the farm is definitely starting to come in here for vdT, and they're finding the kills that they need to make happen.
Yeah, and Haxton will be in a lot of trouble here.
He certainly is. The Bat Blast is going to be used. Deafening Roar slowing him down. But in comes Flux. Are they going to be able to finish this Torture? Not going to happen. Agonizing Bonds gets the counter kill onto Wretched Hag. Rally is there. They're going to drag in support on Master of Arms. Support wants to TP out, but he does get hit by the Glacial Blast. There's the second stun on it. And Flux going to be laying in the auto attacks. Rally's there with the Compel if they need it. He's going to turn around because Parasite's here. Forked Lightning misses, and now vdT going to have to fall back. Support probably should have had that Forked Lightning, and that should have been a kill onto Flux, but mistakes happen.
Yep, they do. But I just have to note that vdT definitely do have a game plan. They do know that they can't win team fights once it gets to the mid game, so they have to make action now. And they've done a pretty good job about controlling this bottom jungle. They had counter wards through the mid lane from support and in the jungle entrance, and they just faded, and they've been countering the lane ward. So they've done a good job of controlling the jungle. They just still need to find some kills, and that was a pretty even exchange that just happened in the bottom lane.
Yeah, evening things up just a little bit more in terms of the resources, but as much as they don't really matter right now, still taking a look at those. And triple stacked ancients being worked on by support, utilizing that level 4 acid bomb. And these will go down in one more acid bomb.
He should buy a potion, and he should just go to the observatory, heal up. I think it would require 2 more acid bombs because Dragon Masters are pretty tanky.
Yeah, other than that Dragon Master, everything else should be dead with this last acid bomb. Oh,
he could. No, he should just. He might want to just save it for his team, which is a possibility.
Maybe Wretched Hag going to pick those up. Speaking of pickups, though, the Black Legion finished up on Pee-wee. He's got another 500 gold. He actually went for a big dive in the top tower. The top tier 2 went for a lodestone once again. Wanted to actually get off these Swift Slashes, but wasn't able to in time. Had to Blade Frenzy to make sure he was not actually killed by a rocket troll.
Oh, we have a Parasite roaming. He does not have the Codex completed, but he does have Rally the couple with him, so he might be able to get a kill on this Torture if they path correctly.
Yeah, Tort only sitting at 900 life with Steam Boots set to strength.
He needs the vestments really badly right now.
Yeah, not going to find it just yet. Completely agree with you on the vestments there. Wretched Hag picks up Steam Boots, and she's going to go ahead and stack this Ancient Camp once more before probably cleaning it up with a couple of Sonar Screams and the use of the double damage that she does have active. And interesting to note that she has 0 points in Haunt. Well, actually just threw 1 point in Haunt finally at level 8.
He did want the extra point in Blink. Maybe it did help him out.
Oh, hold on.
Action.
Yeah, Flux getting gone on here. The Energizer is going to be used. Blade Frenzy is going to be able to finish off Flux. Nice dodge onto the chain reaction stun. So no counter kill going to happen. And that's a huge kill. 414 gold for Pee-wee. And putting Flux into the penalty box for 40 seconds here. It's going to allow them to create some pressure in this middle lane.
And they will get the bottom tower.
Yep.
SGE are looking to trade in this top tower. What's the teleport situation? Everyone has teleports, so it's just gonna be who wants to react first, who pushes faster. And right now, vdT's pushing a little bit faster. Minus was a little bit gone. He didn't get the resummon on the elementals as soon as they fell. And if they want, they could take this tower and potentially save their tier 1 tower top.
Yeah, it's a very real possibility. Bottom tower will fall to... Well, there's mass TPs coming in. 2 TPs here. Rally going to go ahead and back off. They're going to let this go into deny range. Portal key even being used as Flux wanted to get engaged. And is this tower going to go deny 2 more attacks? No, Flux is taking it.
No, don't deny it. Don't deny it. If they denied it right here, that'd be a huge mistake. They'd both forfeit their lives for that.
They might still be in some trouble. The TP situation... we do have 1 on Tempest, 1 on Engineer, and 1 on Torturer. So everybody else is going to be able to make it down here. If vdT does try to force this fight, Pee-wee farming middle, there's no way they should try to force this.
Yeah, they need Pee-wee. Let's see. They both have teleports on Engineer and Temp. So, you know, pretty good exchange of events for SG. They saved their tower. They took a tower. They're farming their opponent's team jungle. They're kind of just sitting here on the side, not really accomplishing anything. So
yeah, they really wanted that kill, but simply wasn't going to happen.
It's just too deep. You're also playing against a Flux, so you will get caught if you go for a kill. And if you don't have all your heroes there to take a fight, you're just gonna get massacred.
Yeah, that's absolutely what's going to happen. Swiftblade activating the Energizer is going to go for a bit of a run to try to get farm top lane. They could go for a pick mid. Remember, there are lots of TPs available, but Hacks are going to drop immediately. Bat Blast going to kill Engineer with the Compel, and that's a 2 and done. Tempest does port in. Oh, this
Tempest might be in trouble.
Yeah, Minuts needs to be very, very careful with his positioning. Backs up.
Oh, they do have vision.
Is available. And now Rally's the one that's a little bit caught out here. Who else is going to be coming to help him? He uses the Compel and the Deafening Roar trying to slow. Defensive Master's Call into the Acid Bomb. He will go down, but Lodestone in a lot of trouble himself. No counter kill is going to happen, so vdT will end up losing the Rally, trading that for Haxerin and Engineer.
Yeah, it looked like Zibby and his teammates weren't really on the same page. They did a vision of those 2 heroes transitioning from the jungle from support to ward, and he wanted that, and just a miscommunication there did lead to his death.
Yeah, definitely need to be on the same page, and we've talked about this before. With vdT, highly skilled players. They're extremely mechanically solid. Their strategies a lot of times are very good, but it seems like they occasionally do suffer from a lack of central leadership and really grand thought processes, just trying to get everybody on the same page. Once they get that down, this team is going to be incredible, but still a relatively inexperienced team. They're still working on things like that.
So Minus did pick the portal key. It's really good when you're running Flux Engineer. They do have 1 superior cancel for when he does get Shrunken Head, but it's really hard to do have 2.
Swiftblade,
so Slash is
done, yeah.
Okay, but still, it's really chaotic team fights. It's really hard to position your hero correctly as the Parasite, as the Swiftblade to cancel the Tempest ultimate. versus this Flux Engineer, and I really like this decision to go the old school Blink BKB build.
Yeah, not bad. Gonna leave the Astrolabe for somebody else to pick up, maybe the Engineer later on in this game, but right now, Fitsky's suffering pretty hard at 94 gold per minute, so not gonna be looking for an Astrolabe to come out at all on this team for quite some time. Maybe even at all this game.
Yeah, they probably just won't get it this game. And Lodestone does finish up his portal key, so right now sGeu, they got all their core items for the team fights. Haxorn is a little bit gimped, but he's still sitting healthy at 350 GPM. And I wouldn't be surprised if they look to take some 5-on-5 fights.
I think I'd like to see them wait until they get the Grimoire power on Haxorn. He's only 1,000 gold away at this point, and that is going to amplify the amount of damage that he's doing by quite a significant amount. Pretty much 15% to be specific.
And you would like Haxorn to be level 14. The 2 points in Torment is a huge additional burst of damage in these team fights.
Oh, absolutely. So needs just a few more minutes to finish up those two items. 800 gold, 900 gold, excuse me, on that Grimoire power, and then just a little bit of experience to get those levels. Meanwhile, Wretched Hag is starting to farm all right. The second highest farmer on the Hellborn team at nearly 300 gold per minute. She's 1,000 gold away from a Shrunken Head herself. Swiftblade has the Firebrand, could be looking to go Frostburn here. Top lane, Parasite was taking some damage, but Zai looks like he flubbed the Shatterstorm combo here.
So right now we have Master of Arms finishing Lex Talionis level 1. It's really good with that hero. Right now if he switches to Goo, he's gonna have what, like, so minus 8 armor about. What is Goo? Is it minus 5 or 6?
I want to say it was minus 5.
Okay. So he should have minus 8 armor if he uses both those. So they definitely can target down one hero with the physical damage pretty well.
Yeah, it's always irritating when you can't check because it's on the wrong stance. And nobody ever stays on the red stance long enough for you to check something. It took me like 3 months to learn what the name of Blast Shot was because, well, nobody ever uses it. It is a fun spell, though. I mean, when it's used properly, it can make some very, very big plays. Knocking somebody, I call it a 3-point shot when somebody gets knocked back from a Blast Shot into a feral wall of mummies. I've seen that happen a few times.
Let's see. So we have an Invis Rally looking for a kill. I don't think he might have the damage of burst on Tempest. He's on Intreds. They do have blue buff.
Yeah, with the Master of Arms buff, this could be a very real possibility. Oh, yeah, he's 100%
I would like
going
to see
to
him go for this.
There's the blue buff into the Seismic Slam, and he does go down. TP out immediately, and he's gone. So perfect setup, and that's going to put an end to Minet's farming for now. That Shrunken Head could be delayed just that much more.
And if it wasn't for the blue buff, I'm 100% positive Olymp would have ulted there. He made that massive play earlier. I don't remember a team that he was playing against. Maybe it was Impunity.
Yeah,
but right there, it's a little risky to use that. Blue buff is pretty much instant cast speed on the Seismic Slam.
Yeah, it's pretty dang fast. So sGeu not going to be taking any fights just yet, and over the last few minutes, their resources have shifted pretty heavily in favor of this vdT team. Shrunken Head finished up on Wretched Hag. Swiftblade's got an additional 2,800 gold, so he can finish up Frostburn if he's looking for that. He can pick up Shrunken Head pretty soon here if he's looking for that. Alder Parasite could be making his way toward a Searing Light. There's a Geobane, though, so interesting. What do you think about this Geobane?
I really don't like it this game. You're facing a lot of AoE. I would have preferred the Dawnbringer.
Yeah, I agree, especially when you're talking about the perplex of the energy field. Really, you're just going to be picking it up to try to put out some more damage and maybe to break the glacial blasts from Tempest. But other than that, not a whole lot that you're going to be doing with it.
And sGeu are looking to fight. I don't think vdT should be looking to defend this tower. They should be looking to trade towers, look for hero kills, look for the late game, look for their Peewee they get 6 slotted.
Yeah, without a portal key on Rally, I just don't think they have the initiation to make this happen, and they're not going to.
And it looks like sGeu are going to back off. We'll just have to see what they decide to do.
Oh, Fitsky's ward is actually spotting out support here. So sGeu choosing to back on up.
Support
Interesting
should
choice.
counter ward that. Maybe not now, but he should. He did see him place it with his ward of sight at the bottom lane.
And he's going to do a little bit of counter warding here in the lane ward first. And Support and Fitsky seem very, very evenly matched with these wards. They are so often placing them in almost identical spots and counter warding each other constantly. So really nice to see high-level ward wars going on with Sender not in the game.
Okay. I think it's because Fitsky and Fitsky and Support have like their own different warding styles. Fitsky likes to play some aggressive wards at really different spots. They're hard to counter, and Support likes to place defensive wards at really different spots, so they kind of match each other.
Not going to be in trouble just yet. The Flux Ultimate not going to be used. And so with the Shatterstorm down now for 70 seconds, this could be the opportunity that vdT was looking for.
Yeah, they could even like to do a Kongor, maybe, or push a tier 2 tower. The thing is, when you're pushing, and it's really awkward. Like, you're pushing a tower and doing a Kongor fight against Flux Tempest is still real. You can defend because you can position your heroes where you want them to be, but like pushing and doing a Kongor fight is just really hard to position your heroes correctly.
Yeah, like you said, this is a game where vdT, they've got the advantage right now, and they've got the late game, but they can't force action. Actually, Engineer is going to get caught out here. Seismic Slam. Oh, the nice Flux pull, though. They needed the blue buff from Engineer, or excuse me, from Master of Arms, and it was just a little bit too late.
Yeah, this is one of those things. Usually, you can be a little bit slow on that blue buff, and it doesn't matter. But when you're facing Flux, you have to you cast it before you jump as the rally.
And I got to give a shout out right here to both Fitsky and Limp. I mean, I'm sure if you were over there, as soon as that compel got used, Fitsky is screaming Flux ult, Flux ult, Flux ult. Like, and Limp
and they have the trust, and he just uses it blindly.
Yep, and saved his life right there. The Seismic Slam now on cooldown, so the Shatterstorm use not necessarily going to be punished. They are going to go mid. Engineer will drop this time. Wretched Hag using that Shrunken Head to go deep. Swiftblade looking for a kill as well. He's going to aggro some creeps, so he's not going to be able to get any Swift Slashes off. Instead, he's going to kill these creeps. He needs to be very careful. Mid tower does go down. There's a TP coming in. No Engineer here. Oh, they're going to go onto Swiftblade. Swift Slashes do go off, and Tempest is likely going to go down. Yes, Tempest is down. There's the Codex going to be used onto Flux. Shatterstorm is going off right here. Flux not going to use the ultimate just yet. Swiftblade is going to drop. Wretched Hat gets in there with the Sonar Scream. Tempest is already dead, though. Down goes Lodestone, and Torture doing a lot of damage. Wretched Hag likely going to drop here. And yes, Wretched Hag will go down. There's a buyback onto Lodestone. He's going to be going, actually, that's a buyback on Tempest. They're going to be able to take down everyone from this Hellborn team, and a genocide as vdT overextends into the buybacks of XGDM SGEU.
I mean, Mining's buyback really didn't do much, but he did it anyways. But I was really scared for SGEU. I was like, is this going to be the fight that ends the game? Is this going to be like the point of, is this too far? But then Pewee got demolished by the
Shatterstorm.
The Shadowstorm, yeah. He has to watch his positioning on that. It's just, you can't get caught by it. Maybe he wasn't expecting that much damage, but it just decimated him. And from that point on, the Flux ult kind of pulled him into the Torture spells a little bit, and they just cleaned up from there.
Oh man, that was pretty brutal, and I gotta give a shout out to Haxerin right there, doing so much damage in that fight, up to 19% of damage done in this game. Doing a huge amount of work. He finishes up his Shrunken Head, so he's going to be able to go hard. And there's the Warhammer pickup on Swiftblade. If this is not a Shrunken Head, I'm going to be a little bit surprised as soon as that Blade Frenzy wore down. I don't know. I think it's going to be a Shrunken Head. What about you? Oh, Lodestone's going to go hard on the support, and he does get annihilated by the Shatterstorm combo. Compel wasn't fast enough and chose not to use the red buff on himself. I feel like Master of Arms ults are just a little bit slow in this game.
I wasn't really watching, so I won't comment, but for hero, that's a slight edge for... Okay, so support is higher level, but the thing is, they did use a Shatterstorm ultimate, so it gives time for vdT to find kills to farm. Ult. So it is a win. Okay, and NGL, but the thing is, they have to wait. So it's definitely a win for vdT if they can actually use this time to farm to find another pickoff.
So back to this shrunken head. I mean, you don't think that the Warhammer is going to be used for that? You think it's going to be something like a Savage Mace?
A Shrunken Head would be a very good pickup in its own right. You are dealing with the Perplex from Engineer, and you don't always want to use your Blade Frenzy. Yeah, you could be right here. Shrunken Head would be a very useful tool against all this magic damage. Having the double immunity is very good here.
Yeah, that's almost certainly what I expect it to be. If he does opt for that, then he will be about 900 gold away, so not too far off. And VDT, prior to that last team fight, we were kind of saying, hey, they've got the late game advantage. They just have to turtle up and not take bad fights. That middle fight wasn't an atrocious fight by any means, but they did come out on the losing end of it, and they've got to be more cautious now about taking these fights. They dove deep. They went into territory that they just weren't expecting and got picked off. Expect to see them play a little bit more cautious from here. Swiftblade is going to walk into an invisible engineer before falling back.
So right now we have support killing the Ancients by himself. I'd like to give this farm to Hag, I think. He needs a lot more farm right now. He's only or he could use a lot more farm, I should say. He does want to finish up the Grimoire and then get like a CC item.
But I mean, sGeu has actually recovered very, very nicely after that 1v2 start.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that 350.
Yeah, he's sitting there on the Sackstone, finished up the 22-minute Shrunken Head Steam Boots combination. Definitely not too bad from sGeu. He will get the Grimoire of Power here and another 500 gold, I believe. Not bad at all. Shadowstorm is going to be used middle lane. Flux Ultimate not going to be used once again. Zai keeps going with the Shadowstorm, expecting the Flux Ultimate to happen, and Pee-wee just always has the Blade Frenzy available. I don't know about that.
I wasn't watching it, but it is an effect. What's going to happen is just give more. Oh, they want to go.
Oh, they're going to go on him. There's the Flux Ultimate into Elemental Void, interrupted by Parasite. Bat Blast going to be going off there. And Tempest annihilated immediately. Swift Slash is going to be going off, doing a lot of damage. Down goes Rally, though, but Swiftblade is spinning on top of a bunch of them. Bloodstone's already dead, but Swiftblade going to be dropping. Parasite going to be going hard right here as Torture does drop. Flux going to be taken out by Wretched Hag. It's just Engineer left. He's going to try to TP on out, and he is gone. Ends up being a 4-for-2 trade with VDT taking the end of that. Wow, that was a fast-paced, high kill fight.
Yeah, yeah. I think what SG were thinking is they would be able to use the Void on Tempest, and Flux Ultimate would come in fast enough, and they'd drag in the Parasite. But VN Sensation had great positioning, was able to cancel the Tempest Ultimate right away, and they just did not have the damage. They went very deep, and they didn't have the Shatterstorm, and maybe a bit of an overextension.
If they had the Shatterstorm there, that would have been everyone dead.
Oh, massive.
That would have been everyone dead. Probably 4 kills.
One-sided.
And Zai is going to go up top onto Wretched Hag. Nowhere near enough damage to actually kill him. So, well, Wretched Hag has one more blink. And now is kind of stuck in the trees. Zai will fall back. Just doesn't want to overextend. That team fight was so freaking fast. Like, I don't know how VDT had that good of positioning that they were able to just respond like that. That was crazy.
Remember, they were doing Ancients before, so they were near the observatory. So the Flux Ultimate really only, I mean, really, no one was really in a bad position, and they just didn't have the follow up because the Tempest Ultimate got canceled almost immediately. The Shatterstorm was on cooldown, so they were missing a lot of their AOE. And he does pick up the Frost of Skull. That's pretty good with the Flux Ultimate. Everyone will get the Frost of Skull slow when he casts it.
And that will slow down the auto attack speed of Swiftblade, in addition to the movement speed, both through the Shrunken Head and the Blade Frenzy. So Magic Community not going to help out too much right there. Speaking of that Shrunken Head, it was just finished up. So Swiftblade's still not going to be hitting too hard, only for 183 plus crits. And he has an extremely defensive item build with the 4 items he's got currently. I'd like to see him pick up some more damage. But right now, Pee-wee is being forced to play extremely defensively. sGeu, on the other hand, will finish up the Grimoire of Power very soon. I thought he had the Blessed Orb already, but I guess he didn't. sGeu is actually going to be the primary damage dealer for VDT in most of these team fights.
He's definitely the burst, and if you look at the damage charts, they are tied right now, 14%. But yeah, they definitely do need to get a damage item onto the Swiftblade, and they still need a CC item on this Wretched Hag if they ever want to initiate a team fight.
Speaking of initiating team fights, it's going to be a whole lot harder. Shrunken Head just picked up on Tempest. We saw VN Sensation get the perfect face hug off from Parasite last game. He's going to have to be even better about those in the future with this Shrunken Head up. And we'll see. Portal Key was just picked up on Torture as well. He's got an additional 2,700 gold as he's running around with a regen rune activated. Do you expect Torture to be going Sheep next now that he has that Portal Key?
I would think Sheep or Frostfield Plate. Frostfield Plate's really good with the lineup they have, and they are against physical damage, and it would just make him a lot more harder to kill. But I think Sheep is also incredibly viable, and it just depends. Does he want to be kind of an initiator and just to target someone out, or Frostfield Plate will make him harder to kill and give him more damage output?
Yeah, so two distinct options right there. Support is going to drop a Ward of Sight, but it's not going to be too beneficial.
How did they have vision of that?
I have absolutely no clue.
Huh.
Oh,
the trees were chopped down. Okay. Or was that Engineer Keg?
I thought that was Engineer Keg.
Yeah, that was Engineer Keg. I don't know how they had vision of him there.
I'd have to go back and watch the replay. Yeah, that's kind of insane. Maybe the trees were chopped down a little bit. Maybe they just went in blind.
That's probably it. They saw heroes farming the map and they're thinking they had just had this game sense that somebody was over there. Maybe they looked at the timer and they thought support would be in that area at that time. The stack ancients. Definitely a mind game or thought there's the game sense going on, not something that they just saw.
Yeah, absolutely. So not bad. Getting a nice pick off onto support. His 5th death of the game. I got to commend vdT for keeping all their deaths relatively low, but I mean also to sGeu, everybody other than Fitsky keeping their deaths under 4. Fitsky unfortunately sitting at 8 on support, having one of those suffer type games, but it happens when you're having to go in deep for those wards to make sure that your team is protected. Sometimes you get picked off. Speaking of picked off, top lane, oh my god. Torture so quick on getting back there with that Portal Key. If he had not gotten back, would have had to use the Shrunken Head, might have even still died from the auto attacks at that point.
Yeah, he didn't have a teleport, so he might have still died, as you say. But really good reaction time. Double click the Portal Key, which that probably was just the double tap.
Rally
and those just illusions in the middle lane.
Wanted to go on something, but they were probably well aware those were illusions to begin with. Unfortunately, Rally's mana pool is relatively small at this point.
So
he doesn't have much.
Do you think Flux is gonna transition into a semi-carry or more of a utility hero? He does have the bulwark, so that makes me think he's gonna look more for the damage to get the demonic breastplate and maybe some kind of damage item.
Yeah, I definitely expect the demonic breastplate to come out. Past that, not entirely sure. I mean, there's certainly a possibility of going something like the Savage Mace after that, or he could just tank up himself.
Shrunken Head would also be a good pickup, but he still would be lacking damage. So we'll just have to wait and see. That is a lot of gold, though. He does still want to finish the demonic breastplate first, and then we're talking about another 4,000 to 6,000 gold after that.
Yeah, definitely. So 1,700 gold away from demonic breastplate at this point. With that attack speed, a Savage Mace would be a pretty nice pickup for him, but we'll see. That would be kind of an unconventional build. Shrunken Head definitely more standard, especially against big damage dealers like this Wretched Hag with her Bat Blast and the Grimoire Power. But at this point, both teams just content to sit back and farm, wait for the next big items. Swiftblade's farm has tapered off a bit with no Rune Cleaver. I mean, he's barely sitting at 460 gold per minute, whereas Haxorn's farm is continuing to be quite good. Although his mana regen is still low as well, sitting on only the Grimoire Power. He'll probably be picking up a sheep here.
And he just right-clicked it.
So that's going to help his mana regen.
Yeah, it's a really good pickup. The Blink Sheep is it's pretty instant. It's really hard to react. They don't have any tools. Okay, actually do have one Storm Spirit. I was going to say they didn't have anything to counter it. But the thing is, it's on Parasite, and they'll put his position in a terrible spot. if he has to cast that. Say if the Torque goes first, and then the Tempest Flux is the follow-up, then they're just going to sacrifice the whole team to save one hero.
Yeah, not exactly what they're going to look for. Right now, though, sGeu is starting to group up here in the middle lane. And looks like they might want to try to force a team fight. Going to march up and probably push up mid and maybe set up for a Kongor. They are dropping Rev Wards around this area. But support already has a couple down himself, including a Ward of Sight, giving good vision, spotting out all 5 players. And vdT is retreating, looking like they want to take a fight.
So right now, we have Huey going for Shield Breaker. It's going to be really good right now while the Torture does not get another item. He's only sitting at 12 armor right now, so it's going to put him to about 7. So, and then, is there a Bulwark? Yeah, there is a Bulwark. So if that's on... So he could be at potentially like 3 armor in the next team fight, and that's just going to... He's going to die so fast to right-click auto attacks. So
you like this Shield Breaker pickup then?
In the now. It's going to be bad in the future once Torture can get a Frostfield plate going.
Yeah, I feel like when you're 40 minutes in, this is a little bit late for the Shield Breaker pickup, that something like a Savage Mace might have just served him a little bit better. Hell, even something like, I don't know, maybe even a Wingbow or a Genjuro, putting out more raw damage.
It just depends if they feel like they need an item in the present. And
Top lane. Minets could be in trouble. And Switchblade going to activate the Energizer. Working on creeps, and that's going to be it. So not going to go for Tempest. A little bit surprised that they didn't try for the Tempest.
There was only one hero on the map at the time, and that was a Flux, so he could just ultimate. And like, if they blink on the Tempest and he gets his BKB off, and then Flux ulties, that's pretty much a wipe.
Yeah, I kind of expected that before the creep wave had moved up, that they would have just compelled Swiftblade forward while he was using the Energizer and just gone directly into Swift Slashes, which would, I think, have killed Tempest. Bottom River, though, Lodestone is going to drop most likely. The Flux Ultimate going to be used. Lex Talionis going off. Lodestone getting away 45 HP, and he will get out. Flux Ultimate saving him once again.
In the middle lane,
though. Chain Reaction Stun into the Elemental Void, catching 2. Swiftblade and Wretched Hag both likely going to go down. Swift Slash is going off here, doing a lot of damage. He's actually going to be able to Blade Frenzy out of there for now, but he will eventually fall. Wretched Hag is dead as well. Parasite gets caught out and killed. Oh my god, huge deaths. There are buybacks on 2 out of the 3 heroes. But Swiftblade is down for 70 seconds.
I think once one hero buys back, they're just going to back up, play it safe. You know, he might not even buy back. They have 2 heroes that are very low HP. I mean, Tempest is at base, and they might not even have to use the buybacks. Okay, but will they?
I think Parasite will probably buy back, maybe. I mean,
or maybe they just want to give the racks up and not. Okay.
No, there's the charge shot. Parasite and Wretched Hag both buying back here. The Sheep going to be going out onto Rally. Parasite going to get stunned as well. Backblast going to completely whiff. Down goes Rally. Parasite going to join him in the 6 feet underground. See you later, Parasite. Shattersword going out onto Master of Arms. Defensive Master's Call going to have to be used. Wretched Hag was able to pick up a kill onto Torture and Flux, though. They do defend the racks. Wretched Hag going to get stunned out. Tempest is back up here. And Switchblade's back up in 15 seconds. Max gonna be going down. And yes, they will. Well, good fortification.
They're gonna die.
Yeah,
they're gonna die.
Oh.
Wow, that was such a great fight for stayGreen EU. They
how
forced
did they get
2
caught out
buybacks. Just out of position. And they didn't have the Parasite close enough to cancel the Tempest ultimate. And then Engineer got his ultimate off, and it kind of zoned out the heroes from supporting the Swiftblade and the other hero that was in the Tempest Void. So just a great team fight for sGeu, and they get the racks, and they're looking to be in a great position right now.
I feel like the Flux ultimate that was used to save Lodestone and Bottom River probably revealed the Swiftblade and Wretched Hag and allowed them to get that jump.
True, that could be a possibility. And Fitzy almost has the portal key. He's farming it right now. He might sell his Bracer, but he'll probably just farm another camp.
Yeah, with the double damage, he's easily going to be able to farm this up. Might even double stack the Minotaur camp here. We'll use the turret. No, I'm not even going to do it. He's just looking to farm this and get it done with as soon as possible. Easily going to clean up these poor little Minotaurs with a keg. And will now clean up a small camp with one more keg. And that will be his portal key. So that's going to be huge with Flux, Tempest, and Engineer all having portal keys. Hell, with Torture and Lodestone, it's a 5 PK team. A 5 PK Wombo combo team with a Refresher Tempest that was just picked up.
Yeah, they're looking to take this game away. But I would like to see Hack still the TP, get a plate mail. He would still have buyback, or maybe not actually.
He will still. I think it's going to be really, really close.
If he gets some gold before he dies, he would have buyback.
Yeah, if he gets it another like 300, he'll definitely have buyback.
Okay. I would just like to see him have some more armor.
And there's the portal key here for Engineer, walking out of base with no wards or any TPs. So going to be pretty all in on getting a team fight happening here pretty soon. And Hax will screw up. It doesn't actually block the camp. I thought he was going to, but doesn't actually block that one. Wouldn't have been a huge deal. And vdT moving out onto the map once more here.
And they're looking to be aggressive, take a fight from their in their favor.
Oh, they're going in once again. Sheep onto Master of Arms. Swift Slash is going out. Bat Blast onto 4 players here. There's the Flux ultimate. No Tempest ult going to be coming in just yet. There's the Tempest ult onto 3 players. First one going to be interrupted. Refresher going to be going off. Where's the Tempest ultimate? He doesn't have the mana, and there it is. Tempest ultimate onto 3 more players. Swiftblade likely going to go down. No, he's going to turn it around. They're going onto Flux now, and Flux will drop. Everybody else is out of there. Engineer has run. Torture was never able to get in there in the first place. And vdT takes the fight despite the double Tempest ultimate and the Wombo combo.
Yeah, I'm kind of. What happened to minus first Tempest ultimate? I felt it was a little
got
delayed.
Interrupted. He actually moved away during the Swift Slashes. Had to get away because he had gotten Swift Slashed, and then was able to come back in after the Swift Slashes. Got the ultimate off, but it got interrupted immediately by Parasite.
Mm. You know, that fight started by them jumping on support, though. I really don't agree with that. It kind of forces they're targeting the wrong hero. Even though he was taken out of the fight, they need to be focusing the right targets, I feel.
Yeah, and that Bat Blast, the 4 hero Bat Blast to start it off while the Swift Slashes was going off, being able to drop Lodestone very, very quickly in that fight certainly helped out. And Swiftblade with the level 3 shield breaker working on Kongor. Parasite's going to help out. And Kong likely going to drop. Is it going to be fast enough? sGeu's starting to make their way over there. Oh, Kongor should drop very, very quick, though. They're not going to look to interrupt this.
If they do go, they could. Their heroes are kind of... No, they're not. Okay, it's free.
And there's Token on Wretched Hag. She picked up the Sheep Stick after that fight as well. Or did she have it during the fight? I don't know.
How many kills did he get?
None.
He got 1.
1?
Yeah, he probably had it before
1.
the fight. He killed Haxon for 500 gold, so he had to have it beforehand.
Oh, okay, so Haxorn was there then. He bought back. He bought back to farm creeps.
Yeah, he died bought back, so
okay,
it's really huge. He could have another item right now.
Wow, okay, so I didn't think Haxorn was there. Haxorn was taken out very quick in that team fight then.
Yeah, he doesn't have much armor. He dies pretty fast to physical damage.
Oh. This is a tense game, Sender. 7,000 experience lead. The gold almost even between these two teams, but 48 minutes in, that 7K experience lead is very, very minimal. Maybe a couple hero levels in general.
Even though they have a token, on the vdT side, they lost their melee racks, and it feels to me this game will be over in 1 or 2 more decisive team fights, and that's where sGeu, even though they have the token on Hag, sGeu definitely do have the better teamfight team if they can execute correctly.
But they have no Elemental Void right now. They have no second Elemental Void, and they're pushed up really far. vdT wants to engage really bad. They had vision deep in the jungle, so they can spot out Lodestone. They spot out Flux right here. They want this fight before the double Elemental Void again. They're going to show Swiftblade and try to bait this, and it looks like sGeu might take the bait. Ward of Revelation is down here. Oh my god.
They do have 1 Void now.
They have 15 seconds until the next elemental void. They're gonna go in. There's the Swift Blade gonna get sheeped out. Bat Blast gonna be going out onto 3. There's the Swift Slash is gonna be going off. The Shadow Storm gonna be doing a lot. The Flux pull in. There's the elemental void. This is the fight that sGeu was looking for. Master of Arms and Wretched Hags, the only ones left. Master of Arms gonna go down.
Tempest
5 players
trouble.
up. Tempest is taken out by Wretched Hag. And now will sGeu be able to survive? There's the buyback on Parasite. They're trying to take out Flux. Wretched Hag trying to put the damage in as well. Nice Storm Spirit coming in from Parasite. The autos onto Torture. Torture actually gonna get the sheep off though. Wretched Hag's Token of Life is gonna be used. There's the slow coming out. Down goes Torture. sGeu looking to go hard. Flux is likely gonna die here as well. There's the sheep onto Flux, and sGeu will pick up the kills. Lodestone and Engineer get out of there. In the end, still a pretty good trade for sGeu, but what are sGeu and VN Sensation gonna do with this time? Are they gonna be able to make anything happen? I don't think so.
It is a 3 for 3. They did use the Void. Parasite did have to buy back, and he won't have another one. So if they can pick off the Parasite, pretty much Minus with good position, he'll be uncontested for his Tempest ultimates for the most part. And it's going to be up to the Swiftblade, who does have a portal key, so that's probably the reasoning for getting it. You know, they can't let Tempest get a good ultimate off.
And that was a pretty decent ultimate right there, I would say. It worked out. And I don't know, man. They were baiting that Swiftblade really, really hard. And he got the Swift Slashes off, but he just took so much damage before he was able to get the Swift Slashes or the Shrunken Head. And that Sheepstick just doing work. Ugh.
And if I'm vdT, I might want to force a fight right now. Force Minuts to use the Refresher, because they don't have a Void right now. They have an 80-second window. It's a little risky, but they want to be facing the double Void right now? I don't know.
No, they definitely do not want to be. And I would like to see them try to take a fight, but maybe they're going to keep on farming. And holy crap, Swiftblade just picked up a portal key.
Yeah.
This is a very strange build from Pee-wee. This Shield Breaker into portal key late game build. He's still not hitting very hard at all. 262 damage, critting for only 523. Doesn't have a ton of attack speed. And he's not particularly tanky either with no lifesteal. This is a very niche build. What's the purpose of this PK?
Well, I was touching on it earlier. Maybe it's cancel the Void, have some better positioning, or just to start some fights. Maybe isolate one hero, just take him out with your Swift Slashes. And Minuts does have the ultimate up in 20 seconds. He will have the Refresher. They are looking to take this tower. And Torture does get the Frostfield play. They should wait for this item. It'll make him so much harder to take down in these team fights.
Yeah, that Frostfield going to help out if he does choose to go that route. Actually, never mind. Flying out, like you said. Wretched Hag going to be working on the defensive tower bottom. And sGeu, they're starting to pressure this tower top. They have the double elemental Void. And vdT is going to start to retreat. TP is going to be coming in. The defensive tower already taking a lot of pressure. They're coming in from the bottom side. The Frostfield play is going to be delivered. Tower goes down. Wretched Hag in the front lines. And buyback's going to be available on somebody. Oh, there's the Flux pull-in right here into the energy field. Elemental Void onto Swiftblade. Swiftblade is going to go down. Rally caught in the middle of that as well. Wretched Hag going to be going hard. Drops the Bat Blast. They're trying to finish off Torture. The Shrunken Head keeping him alive, though. Second Elemental Void coming out, finishing off Wretched Hag, but she is able to buy back. Coming back into this fight. 5 players up for sGeu, though. And this could be the fight that they were looking for. Now 10,000 golden experience up. Going to be able to take the second set of racks, and there is just no way that vdT is going to be able to defend this. Sender, I would expect the GG well played's coming out here any second, as sGeu has thoroughly routed vdT in the losers bracket round of 2. They're going to be securing third place minimum.
They're going to give it a shot. You know, it's not over till the Fat Lady sings, and this Torture is really low. Maybe if they can make some magic, they might have another chance in this game. But
I don't know.
There's no reason not to give it a shot.
Well, Hag is going to get locked down here, sheeped, and will be taken out. Defensive Master's Call doesn't even matter. Support going to be going down to the Frostfield plate. The autos finish him out. GG well plays are called, and sGeu takes it 2-0 over the Vietnamese Dream Team. They will move on to the losers bracket finals, securing top 3 at Dreamhack Summer 2013. vdT goes home in 4th place. No cash prize for them. The only thing they're going to be leaving with is the memories.
I think they'll be fairly content with that. However, they would have liked to crack the top 3, but they just don't make it this time. And it was a really great game we had. The game 2, a lot of back and forth. However, the Tempest Flux combo was just too strong for vdT to handle.
Oh, Tempest, Flux, Engineer, Lodestone, Torture, the amount of burst damage, the amount of lockdown that they were able to generate. We saw in those last few team fights that when they executed their wombo combo properly, it absolutely paid off. It was able to get them all the kills that they needed. And just like that, they do advance. Oh my God, Sender, that is going to do it for Coldcast coverage. It's been a long weekend, my friend. It's been a very long weekend. Dreamhack Summer 2013 going to continue, of course, but Honcast has got it from here on out. They will be covering the Losers Bracket Finals and the Grand Finals, both of those taken on right now. Hell, they're still going with Cole versus SG on the Honcast stream right now. But Sender, I mean, I got to get your thoughts overall about how this weekend has gone and really about this tournament. And of course,
as an overall perspective, or from like our perspective at
casting, whatever you want to talk about, Sender.
Okay, let's go with the overall perspective. You know, it's been a great event. It's been pretty timely. Overall, a lot of good Han. Pretty well played. It's probably been the best DreamHack we've had yet, and S2 have really stepped it up so far. Maybe not sending Breaking Emperor was the correct decision. I disagreed with it, but you know they're making it work.
Well, they are. And I know I have had a lot of fun here casting this weekend. My first DreamHack event that I have been able to cast. And Sender, it's been such a pleasure having you on here with us this weekend, my friend. And I'm looking forward to doing it some more, casting with you, casting more DreamHacks, and of course, being able to cast more Han in general. But guys, I got to give a huge shout out to all the viewers at home, those of you that have stuck with us the entire weekend. You guys are absolute monsters. I hope that you will tune into Honcast for continued coverage. Check out how the top 3 play out. Who's going to be walking away with that cup and who's going to be going home, leaving their thirst for championships unquenched. But guys, that will do it for us at Coldcast. Sender, you got any shout outs before we shut this thing down?
Yeah, just shout out to my team, IG, and then shout out to the fans, and then shout out to you, B, for having me here, and lastly, shout out to Z Freak, Creams, and lastly to the island.
All right. Well, Sender, thank you very much one more time for being on. Guys, as far as my shout outs go, I mean, first and foremost to you, the fans. Without you, we would not be here. We would not be able to provide this presentation. We'd just be 2 guys yelling at their monitors. And that's just kind of more awkward than I'm willing to deal with. Of course, to the Complexity Gaming organization and all of our fantastic sponsors for helping us out and making sure that we are going to be able to cover these awesome Han games. And of course, to those sponsors, Sound Blaster, Newegg.com, Origin, QPad, PNY, Twitch, and L337 Hardware Gaming. They are absolutely fantastic, guys. Show them some love for their support of esports. To all of my friends and family for the support. To Honcast and S2 Games for allowing me to cast. To my boy Emperor, Breaky CPK, Panman, Milfat, Chris, as well as Brenton over there at Honcast, holding it down. To the ladies of Sound Blaster Gaming over there at the creative booth at Dreamhack. And, of course, to all of you, all of my fans, once again, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And we'll catch you next time for Coldcast, for Beef and Sender. We're out.